Not a YouTuber, just like making videos. And the topic of today is men are givers, women are receivers. Men are givers, women are receivers. So, just like a man, let me break it down. A man gives a woman the dick, and a woman spreads open and receives the dick. It can be used as a metaphor as a man also giving a woman money, food, shelter, being a provider, or giving the woman pretty much anything she wants, and a woman on the receiving end of it. And that's the thing. Men are givers, women are receivers. And this may be, the nature of things. To get mad at it will be like getting mad at the fact that you can't breathe underwater. And that's the thing. So, and I understand in today's, in the modern era, people feel that women are taking advantage of this situation, that they're taking their men to the cleaners, that women are demanding or want men to pay for dates, and people are beginning to question this sort of a dynamic. But it goes back into you wanting to insert give this female your penis, and you want her to receive it, and ultimately she also wants to receive other things. See what I mean? Now you can choose not to, partake, in this sort of dynamic and so forth. You can, it's up to you. But women's bodies a woman's body is shaped in a way to attract tension, to pull things into her, to suck things in, almost like gravity. Even when a woman gives birth, her gravity force gets stronger, as in pulling in resources and support, and so forth. And men are built a certain way to constantly want to penetrate something, or constantly want to build and provide and things of that nature. Now, I understand that you got the femme Nazis, that want to reverse the gender roles. I'm seeing this advertisement or this propaganda saying strength does not have a gender. You got women picking up big 2x4s, and like they have the strength of a man. Well, in that case, put a female in a boxing ring with a man, without a head guard. And that's the thing. So therefore, there's definitely differences in our physical capabilities. And I'm pretty sure nobody, not even a woman would want to contract an all-female construction crew to build something for them. And that's the thing. Now, I'm not saying anybody's role is more important than the other one, but let's look at things on a as far as the survival of the human race, of any species. It's favorable that unless you're an insect or something that can lay a bunch of eggs. But as far as mammals go, it's favorable. As far as humans go, it's favorable that there be more women than there are men. If there were like 10 women to 1 man, the human race can still strive. But if there were 10 men to 1 woman, that will be catastrophic. Men will be fighting for the rights to reproduce with these women. See, the thing is, a man can get multiple women pregnant, in a day. But when a female is pregnant, when a female is going to bear a child, I'm like, it's a 9-month period. You see what I mean? So it takes time, and that's what I'm trying to get at. I know there's women that give birth to twins and quadruplets and so forth. So therefore, yeah, it's favorable that there's a lot of women. So therefore, when these women get pregnant at multiple times, so therefore, if there's a shortage of women, you know what I'm saying, they can't, you know what I'm saying, human beings won't be born at such a high capacity and so forth. And in a lot of ways, people have stated that this makes men disposable. They go off, get women pregnant or whatever, then they can go off and die, you know. They've done their job and so forth. You know, and this is what it's like in the black community. The black community has, you know, become somewhat of a human farm. But that's a topic for another video. Also, when it comes to females ovulating, females can only bear children. There's only a limited opportunity where they can bear a child. You know, I think they can start at 11. But in our society, you know, we don't even want women to bear children until they're at least 18 and 19, and that may be sort of observed, because if we go into the history of things, and I'm not trying to sound like a pedophile and so forth, I'm just looking at things from a scientific, biological standpoint. No, and I'm not saying that it's okay for 11-year-old children to bear children themselves, but in certain cultures and tribal cultures, you know, that's the way it was, or at least 13 and 14. But there's a time when a woman stops bearing children. We know this, where a female, you know what I'm saying, goes through menopause. You know, this is, I don't know, what is it, 45, 50. I know I've heard stories of women giving birth at 75 years old, but those are like rare occurrences, even if that's true. But a man can reproduce, impregnate women to the day, as long as he's able to get it up, you know, and bust a nut. You know, he can be having babies when he's dang near 90 or 100 years old if he can get it up. You know, people think that at a certain, there's idiots out there who actually think your sperm count dies at a certain age. I'm like, no. I'm saying either you're fertile or you're not. It has nothing to do with age. So now I'm asking people to please look at things on a mathematical level. You know, men can have children for you know what I'm saying, from the time, I guess, their puberty or whatever to the time that they die. Women can only have, you know what I'm saying, have a limited opportunity to have children, and when they do bear children, it's a long process of 9 months, and so forth. So now you understand why society, why humans have a respect for women, and how women are sort of, I'm not saying in all societies or whatever, but in some ways pampered. Even if they may not have freedom, even if they're sort of kind of slaves, they're not as disposable as men are. You know, it's just how it is. You know, and maybe it's because the men themselves set that up, and not the evil, malicious ways of women. Now we're going to go into how, you know, people now got their gripes and misunderstandings of women getting money out of men, or why does men have to give so much to women and so forth, and how women come up and, you know, they can marry a millionaire and marry a millionaire and be a millionaire themselves, or, you know, a man getting a female pregnant and the female can live off them. Now this goes back into our old ethics, you know, and so forth, and the laws. Now there was a time in this country that a man can have as many children as he wants to, or whatever, or how many women that are willing to lay down with him, and he not pay child support, he not bear any responsibility. That's why you had shotgun weddings where the woman's dad will force the man to marry her and take care of her and so forth, because there was no court laws enforcing men to take care of their child or to pay child support. That just changed over time, you know, and so forth. So yeah. Now, people have said, the MGTOW guys have said that, women are just attracted to a man's resources and what a man can do for them. Yeah, we already know that. I shouldn't have to join some boys club to figure that out. And just like a man may be attracted to a woman solely off her looks, and to a lot of men's eyes, that woman will depreciate in value over time. That, if she gets fat and so forth, you got men wanting to divorce their wives because, hey, she got fat, and especially, and then when we look at the money thing, like women can come up off man if a man's a millionaire and so forth. I'm like, somebody, a player told me it's not tricking if you got it. But for a lot of men, what I'm saying, they can make money if they own property, own assets or whatever. They can make money in their sleep. I'm like, look at Donald Sterling. I'm like, these rich bastards. What I'm saying, they got their wives. They got pretty wives, or their wives were pretty when they married them. They got all kind of side pieces. I'm like, someone like Donald Sterling is a billionaire. Like, if you put $1 billion in a bank, you can live off its interest alone. So he's gonna die rich. So it's nothing for him to splurge on a little hot tenderoni and so forth. And what I'm saying, that's just how the game is. A lot of men, rich men and so forth, a lot of men, period, they look at women as they want that trophy wife. They want a drop dead gorgeous wife. They feel like, women are like cars. The more money you have, the better model you can get, and so forth. That's why you won't see a rich man with an ugly female unless he was married to her for a long time and she let herself go, and then that he got about 2 or 3 other side chicks, what I'm saying, that look bad, and so forth. So men are willingly are so willing to pay for women, make women happy, buy women jewelry, buy women clothes, and so forth. It's just how it is. Now, I'm not saying all relationships are set up like that. We know that we got some men are out there saying, man, so I can lay the pipe down real good, and I got females buying me cars and are buying me clothes and paying my phone bill and so forth. Yeah, I understand that. But looking at it on a microscopic level, when it comes to material things and money, women have gotten way more out of men than men out of women. It's like comparing a grain of salt to a planet. And I know that there's relationships out there where it's 50-50, where it's evenly split. But there's a lot of men out there that don't mind taking care of a female. Because maybe they feel that they may have some sort of power over her, therefore, or the fact that he can buy his woman a car is something he can brag about to other men, or some way securing her, because to some men, money isn't even an issue, that's how it is. But men make these choices. You can't get mad at the female, or this dynamic, or why are females getting this? People want to huff and puff and be mad. I don't understand it. And so forth. Now, when we go into marriage, now people have said marriage is a death trap for men. There are absolutely no benefits of, for a man to be married. And I understand that marriage is a roll of the dice. You can live happily ever after, or it can be a complete nightmare. But going by my own family, going by my own observations, in my family, the men who are married and who have children are more successful than the men who stayed single and never bared any offspring. You know, they'll say that, you know, it's like the MGTOW guys, like, oh man, you know what I'm saying, if you stay single and don't have any kids, you know, you can really live life to the fullest and things of that nature. Get you a nice car, you know what I'm saying, go take trips out to Cancun, you know what I'm saying, to Bermuda and so forth. You know, the thing is with that, it depends on the type of drive somebody has. You know, just like, yeah, there's a guy out there who's a single bachelor that can live the life, you know, drive sports cars, take vacations, bang a bunch of chicks. Just like there are married men out there that can take exotic vacations every year, drive nice sport cars, and bang a whole lot of chicks, if you know what I mean. But this whole theory of if you don't get married and have a family, you're going to be happier, you're going to have all this money, that's a complete fallacy. You can live a life filled with loneliness and a bunch of regret. Now, and this is me, I'm going to take shots at myself on this one. You know, because I've never got married, never had kids. You know, I did have a fiance, but that didn't work out. We didn't get married. That was dang near 10 years ago. So me being married, that ship already sailed. You know what I'm saying? So I accept my lot in life. But when I look at take my cousin, you know, who's roughly about my same age. You know, 2 years younger, never married, never had kids. I'm like, this dude's a drifter. You know, he jumps from job to job. The last time I seen him, he was living in some sort of abandoned house or some shit. You know, and then his brother, my cousin Leno, his brother, you know, is a truck driver, got a beautiful wife, got kids, doing very good for himself, doing a whole lot better than his brother who just stayed single and never had kids. Then I look at my uncle who had never married, never had children. My uncle, he had his house and job and so forth. He's an ex-Marine, but he fell into deep depression. You know, became an alcoholic and died from cirrhosis of the liver. You know, and his brother, my Uncle Lynn, his brother, who also, he didn't have any kids, but he married and took on a stepson, you know, and he's doing well. You know what I'm saying? He's done, I'm like, he owns houses or whatever. Last time I seen him at the reunion, you know, he was driving one of them BMW SUVs. You know, he owns like 3 houses, married and so forth. You know, his wife owns a cleaning, you know, well, one of them, he owns a cleaners, like George Jefferson. She owns a clean. So he's doing very well. Even if my uncle who died from depression and alcoholism was alive, I don't think he'll be doing as well as my uncle who got married and so forth. Now I understand your family may be different. You may be like, well, I got a cousin who never married, and you know, and he owns property in the Cayman Islands and so forth. I understand that, but I do feel it's up to an individual whether they want to live a successful life, whether they want to have a fat bank account and so forth. There are men in my family who are married, who have kids, who got a better car than I do, who have a bigger bank account than I do. You know, so it's up to an individual. But so therefore we can't shun off, you know, the concept of being married, especially in the black community, you know, and so forth. Because I do feel that marriage may give a lot of men drive and purpose in life. That not being married, a lot of them just won't have any sort of direction, and they have this mentality saying, well, you know, fuck this job, I'm gonna just quit this job, it's just me, I don't have any mouth to feed. So, and then they get stuck in that, and then before you know it, time goes passing by, and they haven't accomplished anything in life. As of the person that's married, then they keep reaching their goals and then creating new goals for them to reach. You know, so that's all I want to say. Thanks for watching. Never stop learning.